Like the sun, we bring light to your darkness. And like an eagle, we make you rise above the sky. Glass of film, making a difference.
Out here, I want to specially welcome you to another edition of the Overview here on your number one online radio station, Glass FM. How are you doing out there? I hope your day is going fine and good. I hope you're enjoying the weather out there. And on today's edition of the Overview, it promises to be exciting and engaging. We'll be having a very interesting topic here. And I'm still your host, Sunday Nanini Rejoice. And with me in the studio today, I have
Rocketina is my name, and it's another week. We've been here last week and we're here again. Then I have to tell you, in case if someone is asking where is Tina, yes, Tina is on an official assignment, and she will be here with you next week, God's willing. So beautiful people, whatever you're doing with this particular program, the Overview happens to be an engaging one, just to let you know all those things you're supposed to know, because we're here to educate you. Is our number one priority right here on Glass FM.
And on today's edition of the program, we'll be talking about genotype. The topic genotype. Maybe someone out there might be thinking, what is genotype? What is Rocketina saying? What is Rejoice saying? What does this genotype actually means? So I'm here because we are here to educate you. So we'll be telling you what genotype is and what it entails to know your genotype and everything about it.
Of course, Rejoice.
Yeah.
We want to talk about genotype, and then we want to let people know what genotype is all about. Why can't we go on a break so that we'll allow them get their writing materials, in case for people who want to know what all this is all about, so that they'll be able to get their writing materials, to know the hazard, and then to know the good and the bad aspect of all this. So when we come back from the break, I think it's going to be fair we tell them about this. You know, it's a throwback.
Yes,
you know,
throwback
it's a Thursday, and then we need to bring in, you know, those times that we were small, those music we kind of loved the most back then, because Glass FM, no matter what we do, we kind of bring them memory lane. We take them memory lane so that they'll be able to remember, you know, the past.
Let's take it back, way back.
Ladies and gentlemen, K-Solis Production.
Good people, it's your girl Coffee after Maya. With the hot like fire, but right now with the strike like thunder. Very soon gonna blow like bazooka. With them for a side, not you over.
I'm in love with you for real, but I'm among the ones you selected. You came to seal the deal, all my wrongs you corrected, and then you made an extra move by giving your life on Tavari too. What else am I gonna do but love you, love you? Hey, I said I love the way you changed my life, and I love the way you put a smile on me. I realize unconditional love is what you have for me, Daddy. Your love for me, the Kokoroko, that's why I'm not gonna let you go. That's why I say I love the way you hold me. Kokoroko, I love it. Kokoroko, I love you. Kokoroko, I love the way you hold me. Kokoroko, I love it. Kokoroko, I love you. Kokoroko,
I say this one a love song, but now for Chileke, hey, my brothers and sisters, make gonna hear the and the way the Mayan cast the papa does way. Everybody, make gonna not say. If you feel know I'm my brother, I'm there for this day. People for carrying me day. Everybody, make gonna they say, kilo more, say kilo more.
can get no greater love than you, my Lord. But other people want come between me and you. You can't walk. Nobody cares about me like you do. The way you listen to me, God, and protect me. I'm the boss of all women. See Antimalia. We're going higher and higher. Keep the time in the ladder. Me make up your mind and then you with me one live forever. Things are getting better. Hey, Jehovah to the best provider. That's why I say.
Brothers and sisters, mama and papa, everybody make on a dance, everybody try, everybody just
Alright, welcome back from that throwback music. I hope you actually had a very nice time listening to some of the music from the past. I hope it reminds you of sometimes way back. So still on the topic for today, we are talking about genotype. So I'll be telling you what a genotype is. Here, a genotype says a genotype is the genetic constituents of an organism. Genotype can also be used to refer to the alleles or the variants of an individual. It carries a particular gene or genetic location. That's the number of alleles an individual has. That's the gene, the makeup of a person, ranging from his blood cells, his hair, everything that has to do with a human. That's what a genotype is.
Well, when we're talking about gene, you just call something. Now we are going into the science world. When you talk about gene, sometimes when a mother gives birth to a child, you find out that they'll say, this child
looks
looks
exactly
like the mother or the father, or maybe an old person in the house who must have passed away for some time. People begin to say, this, or maybe if you see someone, for instance, you now say, Rejoice, you look like this person. Is that your father? Then from there, they'll begin to say, oh, I see the gene is very strong on that. But on today's edition of the overview, we're talking about genotype. And genotype happens to be something that is very, very important in the world, especially in order to, slow down the rate of this particular sickness. Yes, called sickle cell. So, if you know your genotype, then definitely you out there who is preparing to marry, you'll be able to know who to marry or not to marry.
Let me throw an advice to you out there. Whether you are not planning to get married immediately, just know your genotype in case.
Especially those people who are blood donors. They should be able to know their genotype so that when you go, I know that the National Blood Transfusion Agency, going out there to go and donate blood, they have to run some tests on the blood to make sure that the blood is safe, so that they can be able to administer it to someone else. But knowing your genotype is very, very good. Rejoice, let me just tell you something before maybe you kind of say what you want to say. I kind of look at it this way, that even the National Blood Transfusion Agency are really, really doing well, because for instance, now if you are a new donor, for instance, because I'm a donor, okay? So the first time I donated my blood, I got a card, a blood transfusion card. That's from the National Blood Transfusion Agency. I got that, and on that card they were able to work on my blood. That was when I kind of know my genotype, I kind of know my blood group, and then a whole lot of tests, even HIV tests, they are being carried on that blood. That's to tell you that they are helping in order to kind of give you all those things you want to know, especially now if you want to go to school or something else. They have to test your blood to know your blood group and your genotype and everything, so that when going there you'll be able to know the kind of a person.
Going back to the topic genotype, a genotype is very crucial. That's because it has to do with bringing up of offsprings, because the offsprings are just the direct beneficiaries of your gene. So the offspring will automatically have the parent's genetic makeup. So relating the genotype now to the marriage. When getting married, you have to know your partner's genotype so that you will be able to know if you are compatible or not, because there are some genotypes that are actually not compatible for each other. That's in cases where you get to give birth to a child and you find out that the child is having this deficiency called sickle cell. So still we'll be telling you some of the genotype that are going to be able to match and some that are not going to match. Here we have the AA and AA, they can marry. Then we have AA and AS, they can also marry. Then the AA plus SS can also marry. Then here the AS and AS cannot marry. I hope you are taking note of these genotypes. And also the AS plus SS cannot marry. The SS can actually marry an AA. In this if you're out there and you don't know what it means to be an AA and AS, the AA, it's a gene that doesn't have that sickle cell anemia in it. That's why an AA can marry an AA. That's when, in cases where they get to have children, none of the children can be affected with that sickle cell anemia. Then in cases where an AA plus an AS can marry, that's the AS deficiency. Sorry, the AS actually has a little touch of the sickle cell, but it's not bad. That a person having that AS can be able to survive it. That's why they said an AA and AS can marry, because when they get married, let's say the father can give that A chromosome, the mother will give the S, and then the children have AS. That's not really a bad one. Then in cases where the AS plus AA can marry, still the same. The father give the A, the mother give the S. Still, they can be able to have AS, or they can still have AA.
Rejoice, there is this possibility that AA and AS marry. The children might decide to come out AA.
Yeah,
it
they
depends
can be
on
AA.
the gene.
And then even if they
come out, and even if they come out as AS, is not really okay. A bad idea.
Then, in cases where they said an AS and AS cannot marry, that's because medically you will not even know which chromosome you are giving out to the children. Let's say you give out the S chromosome and your wife also give out the S. That's where you get to have SS children, and in that cases you will now be struggling with health challenges. Even you, in the part of the parent self, you have to be spending money and on trying to treat it.
And this one, instead of you now to gather riches, you will end up spending it. Because now, if an AS and AS marry just because, I love him or I love her, and at the end of the day, you find out that no matter what, if you are trying to build your home, for instance, you find out that your home you won't be able to build a home, because every now and then you'll be going to the hospital. I kind of remember what somebody said. The person was being told that he's not going to exceed 25 years of age. And some of them might not even exceed 20 years of age. Some of them might not. That's why, when the crisis starts, that is when you begin to know that, yes, all these people are suffering. I remember last year, one of my friends, he died. He died because of this sickle cell anemia. He died because of it, and it was so how would I say, it was so emotional that somebody like that was even above 30 years was able to die because of this.
So you listening to us out there, regarding how much you love, regardless of how much you love your partner, just make sure that you know your genotype, and make sure that your genotype is compatible for you to get married. So we'll be going on a timeout, and when we come back, we'll be introducing the next segment of the show. It's still the overview on Glass FM. Don't go nowhere.
I want to grace for Jesus. Thank God, no be man. God, no be man.
Are you looking for the best place to display your goods and services? Are you looking for how to take your business to the next level? Then let's be your plug. For sponsorship or advertisement, please call +234 3110 1001 or +234 81 288 03452. Glass FM, your number one radio station.
You are Odogu.
Alright, welcome back from that time out break, and I'm excited to tell you that this is the Did You Know segment. So on today's Did You Know, it goes like this. Did you know that in the Middle Ages in the French city, women would put in the morning a slight poison in the breakfast of their husbands, and then when they return home late at night, they were given the antidote. So this poison was not too harmful to human beings, and in a case, men didn't come back home because they were elsewhere. So the antidote was delayed. Men got headaches, nausea, shortness of breath, depressions, pain and vomiting. The more the man was away from the home, the sicker he was, and then when he returned home, unknowingly to him, his wife will give him the antidote and he will get better in few minutes. With this horrible trick, men were scammed because they imagined that being away from home would cause them pain and depression, so they became attached to their wives at home.
This is rather tricky.
Very
Now
tricky.
I know because it's like it's trying to tell men that you don't need to stay out late. You need to come home very, very early. But putting a slide, don't you think it sounds somehow?
Actually, it sounds somehow like, why will you actually poison his food so that he'll come back home? Okay, let's say, what if he doesn't come back home and he keeps having that nausea and vomiting? Does it mean that you're going to kill your husband?
Definitely is dead. Definitely is there, because if these symptoms continues,
and
then the person will have no other choice than to find himself on his way home, so that he'll be able to complain that he have this.
Let's say in cases whereby it's very severe, that he just find a place to sit and he couldn't even take himself back home. This
the
actually
woman,
very
kind of
tricky.
blame herself.
She will blame herself
Of
for
course,
this.
for it. Well, it depends. Then it's just a way to let the men know that no matter what you do, just know that somebody who is at home actually cares about you and then really, really wants you home at that time. When you close from work, what will you be doing outside? Just go home. If you go home now, just take it as a trick of, getting the antidote, then you can go back and go hang out with friends.
Yeah. Okay, so we thank you for staying tuned to Glass FM and still the overview program. But before we leave, we'll be calling in our social media handles where you can be able to reach to us directly. On Facebook, we are at Glass FM, Instagram at Glass FM Radio Station, on Twitter at Glass_FM. Then our emails are glassfm.tv@gmail.com, and the phone lines in which you can communicate to us directly are +234 812 880 345 and 2. We are also on other social media handles such as Threads
and TikTok.
And you can also get the past edition of our shows
on Spotify. Then don't forget to leave a message or a comment after the show when you listen to it, because we're here to serve you better.
Alright, I hope you enjoyed the program at your own end there. I indulge you out there. I should be able to know your partner's genotype before you take things more serious and serious. What do you have to say about that, Rokatina?
Well, in case if you are wondering why we're actually talking about that, because we are more concerned about your health. In fact, even if you are getting ready for marriage and then you find out that you're not compatible, it's not too late for you to back out and look for the right one, unless if you want to be a constant visitor to the hospital. Well, from me to you, Rocketina, is do have yourself a wonderful evening. Stay out of trouble and make sure you keep warm, because the weather is somehow cold.
Alright, from me right here, I want to say enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye for now.